Coming up on Esoteric Atlanta. So question 7, what are your comments on the blatant racism in the early transcripts? Do you support racism? For almost 6 years on Esoteric Atlanta, no claim has gone unchallenged and no influence has gone unchecked. Today we're going to be asking the hard questions. Questions that some people would rather avoid, even when their audience deserves answers. Jay Campbell built a platform around personal growth, biohacking, and self-mastery. Many people follow his advice, but behind the curtain, his connections go deeper and darker than most people realize. Specifically, his involvement with the Cassiopean experiment and what many are calling a cult. How does he justify promoting these ideas to thousands of people when some of these ideas come from a network that discourages independent thinking? Alternative research isn't the problem. Unverified research that encourages followers to abandon critical thinking is. And that's exactly what we need to unpack today. Deflection doesn't work here. Jay has built credibility on personal development. But when some of his sources are tied to an organization that discourages questioning, his advice becomes potentially dangerous. Why should people trust Jay when critical details are omitted? And more broadly, what responsibility do you think Jay feels for his audience when promoting ideas that he hasn't verified, or that come from an environment that actively discourages verification? But friends, this is not personal. This is about accountability. It's about asking hard questions and insisting that influence is backed by truth, not belief, not charisma, not cult-like authority. If you follow someone, ask yourself, are they giving you answers, or are they asking you to stop questioning? And before we get into the video today, just a big thank you to all of our Patreon supporters and our Substack supporters. Our work would not exist without support from viewers like you. If you would like to help out this channel and the work we do here, you can join our Patreon support or our Substack support down in the description box below. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Esoteric Atlanta in conjunction with the Confused Wanderer. And funny story, I already shot this video, or thought I shot this video. I filmed it, thought I filmed it, and I ended it, realized it didn't record. And I was super mad. I came out of the room, I was like, damn it. And then we talked to Lou, and Lou was like, LOL, Todd's got to join you. So apparently Todd's supposed to join me in this video. And so before we get into it, though, guys, we are going to be talking more about, I've got some questions that we have posed to Jay Campbell. But if you don't know anything about the Cassiopean cult, who they are, what's going on, if you like cults, you like this kind of stuff, then I would suggest going over to Todd's channel. You might be watching this from Todd's channel, but if you're watching it from my channel, please go over to Todd's channel, The Confused Wanderer. He just opened this channel a few months back for the purpose of exposing the Cassiopean cult. Now, if you need a play-by-play of what's going on, you just go to his playlist here. I would suggest starting off with the raw material, the Law of One, first, because it's started first before the Cassiopeans, and we're still students of the Law of One. But the Cassiopeans, you have to understand some of the lingo from the Law of One in order to understand what's being said in the Cassiopeans. And he has everything broken up into parts. So he has part 1, part 2, all the way up. And then our last video, which is what we're going to kind of talk about today, is when we were reacting to Laura Knight's Yaddick on an interview with Jay Campbell and Hunter. And so that's kind of where we are today. Is there anything you want to say about that before we introduce the questions, Todd?
No, just that I was, it had been a while since I had looked at how many episodes we had done exposing the Cassiopean cult, and I was getting the links ready for you, and I realized like, wow, we've done eight, at least eight solid episodes exposing, laying the groundwork to expose Laura Knight Yaddick and the
Yeah.
Lizzies,
And
aka
okay.
Cassiopeans.
We're going to get into that. That's the first question I have for Jay. Well,
Yeah,
and the thing is, Todd, is, and you're going to be sitting down and writing it out. You're going to do a full episode over your involvement with the Cassiopean cult, and like
right.
what, so people have your cult story.
So yeah, what got me into it, what sort of kept me on board, then leading to the eye-opening moment of the realization of who Laura and Yaddick and the Cassiopeans really are.
Yeah. And now you're
Yeah,
doing everything you can to try to save others. And
right.
and a lot of this is a fear, you guys. There's a bigger fear. It's not just petty. A lot of people have expressed concerns since for 20 years now about the Cassiopeans being a death cult. What do I mean by that? They are following the trajectory of Heaven's Gate. And so that is the real big concern. And that is, I value human life. And that is why we have really pushed
And,
because this is
yeah,
dangerous.
and how maybe we should tell people how it does sort of link up with the Heaven's Gate cult. And one of the big differences, but also the similarities, is one, Heaven's Gate was all revolved around a comet that was coming into Earth's orbit. And for the Cassiopeans, it's supposedly this wave, this I think from what I understand, it's like a wave supposedly coming from the galactic center, and then when this wave moves through our solar system, it supposedly creates this awakening. I think in a sense, it's supposed to bring in fourth density positive.
But we know that there's no wave. Like
Right.
for those of
There's
us
no
who are
way.
awake, there's no wave.
Right. Uh-huh.
Um, and Laura Knight is showing a lot of similarities to Marshall Applewhite, the leader, the authoritarian dictator of Heaven's Gate. And I mean, one of the questions that I have kind of gets into the wave and how the dates have changed. And we know that in one of the readings, the C's, the Lizzies, aka Laura, have said that the wave is going to come before Laura's natural death. And Laura is what, like 80? And so our concern is as she gets to the latter part of her life, her natural life, is she going to convince her followers to drink the Kool-Aid? The
Right.
way Marshall Applewhite, like, is this how you're going to catch the wave? Is by leaving because we know from the law of one that you have to leave your body in order to ascend. You can't stay in a third density realm and ascend.
Right.
Like, that's Prakriti and Purusha, which we get into in another episode. And so, but to just make a long story short, we're very concerned. We're very, 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 very concerned. Now, if Laura were like 50, there might not be such a rush. But the fact that she's old, it's very chilling that this could happen. The fact that there is the development of a compound in France where people are starting to move. It's just the fact that the French government has been kind of sniffing around, and I'm not a fan of the government, not really a fan of the French government per se too, because but in this situation they have a really strict laws against cults, and if they're concerned in this situation, it's all nuanced, right? But in this situation, I think there's reason for them to be concerned, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And people that have researched deeply into cults, their patterns and things like that, they say that the most dangerous cults are the ones that sort of fly under the radar, that are smaller,
Yeah,
and this is a relatively small cult, but does it make it less dangerous? Actually, because it's a smaller cult, it makes it more dangerous.
absolutely.
Not so many eyes,
Absolutely.
not as many eyes are on it.
Right, right. Everybody knows about Scientology, but not
Right.
everybody knows about the Cassiopeans.
Yeah.
And I want to just remind people who are new to my channel, I am very fascinated by cults. I've done a lot of deep dives into Scientology, into Nexium. I was just texting with my friend Kelly. I met her by interviewing her on my channel because she's an NXIVM survivor. Now we're good friends. So I am very passionate about this. And I always say, like we were talking about it, Todd, because you were even saying, just to be a little candid, you were saying like it was kind of embarrassing to talk about your story. And what did I say to you? I said, I tell my audience all the time, actually, the people who come out of this and admit they fucked up and are humble and tell their story, I find those people to be so credible going forward because they're willing to take the blow. They're willing to be human and to be humble about it, right?
Yeah.
And to let go of the ego.
Right. Yes. And to publicly course correct.
Yes.
You know, I got you into the Cassiopeans.
Yep.
You know, when you started talking about their channeling, Frederick Ireland's channeling, come to find out, not really Laura's channeling. And so you were reading those on your channel and introducing your viewers to Laura Knight Yaddick and the Cassiopeans. And so felt like it was the most responsible thing we could do was to course correct and to truly get the message out, to let everyone know what was really going on. We fucked up.
Don't trust this channeling. Like this is, and here's why. And we're not coming. I mean, I did not like Laura. As everybody knows, on my channel, when I started reading the Cassiopeans, I constantly was complaining about Laura. I thought she was rude. I thought she was very ignorant. She would make comments about cultural stuff. And you and I are very lucky, Todd. We traveled the world. We've lived in a lot of different countries. But she would make these comments. And I'm like, that's really, I mean, talk about embarrassing. Like she was making some very snide comments about other cultures. And I'm like, this is bad. I could tell from the minute I started reading this that Laura obviously has a behavior problem. She obviously has a behavior problem. From the last episode we did reacting to Jay and Hunter, so many people commented in the comment section, didn't they, about her voice. I mentioned it, that I realized, I think it was Fire by Water Design who said it's a thick tongue. That's a sign of schizophrenia. And the way, when I heard her voice, I was jolted. I was like, she has the sound of the voice that is commonly associated with schizophrenia. So this might be something bigger. I don't know. I'm not diagnosing her. It's just something that we observed, and people in the comment section also mentioned that it was very jarring, that this is a sign that there's something good. The wires aren't crossing properly in her mind. There's obviously some mental sickness there that really needs to be treated.
Yeah.
And so anyway, with that being said, you have been very concerned for months now about Jay Campbell and Hunter. I can't remember Hunter's last name. The two guys that were interviewing.
Williams. I think it's Hunter Williams. Yeah.
You have been expressing great concern to me about these guys. That you were very concerned about their safety. You were very concerned. You even expressed to me that because Laura is obviously love bombing them, which we know that she's a love bombing champ. This is what she does. She love bomb and grooms people until she's gotten what she needs from them, and then she tarnishes them.
Well, if they step out of line, it's a pattern that repeats. It's a pattern that repeats over and over, and that she has been twisting on people to help bolster her story, because she thinks that when she has disagreements with these people, when people figure out who she is, like she gets associated with certain people and she wants to use them. And there comes a point where the people that she's trying to use wake up and realize that she's just not a good person. And then when Laura starts to get a feeling that they're about to do, that these people are waking up, she rushes in, starts a smear campaign, and then she claims that they're agents. Yeah,
which we got, and we're going to get into that. Like we did a video reacting, and we're in the new year, guys. We're going to do more videos reacting of Jay and Hunter's, and we invited them. Like we're going to react to these videos because it's important.
Yeah, but let me get to what I was getting on. And so
sorry.
So with Jay and Hunter, Jay has a fairly big platform. And it's the biggest platform that she's been on when it comes down to YouTube.
Smaller than mine. Hate to rub that in, but it's smaller than mine.
Yeah, it's smaller over the years, but still, it's the biggest platform.
I'm just kidding.
She's been on. So when I saw her on there, and they seemed to be starstruck with her, I already saw the pattern playing out. That these guys are starstruck with Laura. Laura's obviously using them for their platform.
Yep.
And she was taking a big risk, putting herself out there on this platform, because if these guys happen to wake up in the process or after the fact, then they're going to be smeared. She's already got the story ready. She
does. Absolutely.
Behind the scenes, I'm sure she's gotten all the information she needs to run a smear campaign on them.
Yeah. And that's what you were saying. You hope they don't reveal any private information to her, because she will use it against them. Right. And I laughed about mine being bigger, and I don't care about numbers, guys, but I laugh about that because we do know that I am the biggest platform that has ever gone against Laura.
Right.
And it came out of nowhere for Laura. Usually she knows who's about to go and tell the truth about her, and that I came out of nowhere. And the reason why we say that, we're not gonna reveal our sources, but just so Jay and Hunter are aware, we do have a source. And so this is how we know certain information is because, and we're not going to reveal that source, but we do know that there's a panic because my platform is the biggest that has ever talked about her and is showing the truth about her. And so I take that as a responsibility, even though I don't care about numbers, I really don't. I do take that as a response. With great power comes great responsibility, right? To whom much is given, much is expected. And so I feel like I have a responsibility to at least challenge this. Now, one thing I also want to say, Todd, too, is, Jay has built his platform on like personal growth and being awake and all this kind of stuff. And when we did our first reaction video, we tagged him, and we were really hoping that he would email us, and that even though we came in hard with the reactions, I think we were also pretty nice in the beginning. Like, we really want to talk to you guys. Like, we're concerned. And the response that I got in the comment section, first of all, you can tell he's not from the South, because if a man spoke that way to a woman in the South, they'd be run out of town. Like, I don't know who raised you, Jay, but that's not how you speak to a woman, and that's certainly not how you speak to a human being. And second of all, I was looking at that comment today, Todd, and I was like, he teaches people about personal growth. Him reacting that way, does that prove that he's had personal growth?
Right.
Or is he a fraud? Or did that reaction come across as a fraud?
And it's also obvious that he didn't take the time.
No, he didn't.
After he saw our video, he didn't take the time to actually look at the evidence that we're discussing that exposes Laura.
Yeah, this is not our opinion. We're not giving opinions. We come, Todd, every video you've done, you've brought facts and evidence and receipts to show your claim, to back your claims.
And no one out there that has been talking about Laura Knight Yaddick and the whole Cassiopean cult has never really brought the amount of evidence to support our claims as we have.
Well, it's been
no one's dug up all of that Vincent Bridges has on his website.
Laura hoped that this would have gone away because Vincent Bridges passed away. And so I think she hoped and she thought it had gone away. She never met me because we can research. If we're stuck on something, we'll research. And we also have insider information. We have a source. Right. So I wanted to back to Jay. Yeah, he obviously did not watch the video, did not see that we really wanted to talk to those guys. We wanted to bring them onto a channel. And I want to put across this, you guys, like when we look at like the truther community or the freedom movement, disclosure community, whatever you want to call it, we spent all these years challenging mainstream media, getting mad at our friends and families who don't question the narrative. But we are hypocrites. Hear me when I say this. We are hypocrites if we don't then also apply that same logic to alternative media. If you are not questioning the alternative media, you are not awake.
Right.
And the fact that Jay lied about us, made up, called us agents, called us clueless AF, without even looking at the video, shows that Jay is not awake because he's not willing to look at all of, when we say like do your research, and watching those videos, Todd, it's obvious they can claim they've done their research, but once you've done your research, it's obvious they haven't. Am I correct? And it's obvious they have not done any research.
It's obvious because, if their friends were saying, dude, this is a cult, what are you doing? This lady's a freak, or whatever that they were saying, they obviously were pushing back pretty hard because he felt the need to cut them out of his life.
Which is cult 101.
He obviously didn't take the time. If I had never known before I was bought in to the whole Cassiopean thing, I never saw anything being said about any cult, the possibility of there being a cult, or that some of the things that went on behind the scenes, I was unaware of those. Had I been aware of those, I wouldn't have been in the position that I found myself in. I didn't know about Vincent Bridges. If I would have landed on Vincent Bridges' website at any point of time, I would have woken up. You can't help but wake up to read his accounts and other people's accounts that he's posted. And so obviously I can't imagine that anyone would still feel the same about Laurinite and the Cassiopeans after reading the material that's out there.
Absolutely. And Jay Weidner's article, there's so many, we've only just scratched the surface of the evidence against Laura.
Right. And that's just the people that decided to take the time to talk about it publicly. Then, something I haven't been able to find is there was a whole like forum, a Yahoo forum or something they had created of ex cult members were getting on and sharing their experiences. And Laura now, since all that's erased, she could just say, "Oh, all those people." It was just baseless, smear campaigns. They have no evidence. They were just agents. They were government agents. 3-letter
she lies about. She defames people.
Right.
And I will say that to Jay. Like, Jay, you just immediately lied about us. Like that, you lose You lose credibility when you just throw out names and lie about people. And at this point, it's Laura's never once in all of my studying of Laura, not once has she ever fessed up to doing something wrong. She's never taken accountability. She's always plays the victim. Are you telling me she's perfect?
And then she's going to sit around and talk about, where are these people find the time to write these, comments basically on these old Yahoo forums that were talking truth about her, but her at the same time, she's got like all of these different websites where she spends all day writing articles smearing people.
She's created her own autobiography that's bigger than like Jesus's, than Hitler's, than all these. It's crazy. It's the megalomania that is there. I've never seen somebody as self-obsessed as she is, but that is common. I'm not saying she's schizophrenic, but that is common with schizophrenics, is a heightened sense of narcissism. And I want to also say to Jay, Jay Campbell, buddy, like Todd and I don't hate you. We actually enjoy you and Hunter. Like we wanted to bring you on a channel and have a healthy debate. And so this is your chance, bro. We wanted to ask you these 10 questions in a video and have a discussion, but we're going to put this out publicly because obviously at this point you're not able to handle that. And I just want to say to you, just really think about this. This is a breaking point for you. You can either prove that you're not a fraud and you really do believe in personal growth and freedom of speech and being awake and listen to us and answer our questions like a human being, not name calling, because that's what the progressives do, Jay. Remember back in 2020 with these and those of us that didn't want these and showed the evidence as to why these and these were not good. Do you remember how we were treated? We were name called. Well, buddy, you're doing the same thing to us. And we're not your enemy. We're asking you there's evidence that what you believe is not real and that you are in delusion. And we want you, so prove to us, Jay, prove to your audience, because a lot of your audience is also my audience, I've learned. So we share an audience. So prove to the people, our friends watching right now, that you walk the walk and you talk the talk. You talk about personal growth. You talk about all these things. So prove that you are not a hypocrite. Show your audience that you can have a mature conversation and be open to hearing criticism, be open to hearing voices of dissent, because that's what being awake truly means, that you can hear, you can listen to what other people have to say. You can either show your audience that you are a man of your word, or in this moment, you can show your audience you're a fraud. The ball's in your court, buddy. This is not
okay. And it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes.
It's absolutely okay to make mistakes. We've all made, I've made mistakes. Todd's made mistakes.
And that's that's one of the reasons why we're now speaking out on this, is that we made a mistake. We fell for Laura Knight Yaddick's bullshit. And so now we're reversing course because
we're taking accountability.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. And that's integrity.
Yeah.
When you're willing to take accountability, you're willing to admit to your mistakes, and you're willing to course correct. Your audience would respect you even more.
Absolutely. They would trust you even more if you were willing to admit when you were wrong, or at least willing to have a discussion with people who don't agree with you. And Jay, just because somebody doesn't agree with you on what, because I guarantee you, Jay and Hunter, Todd, myself, and you guys probably share very similar opinions in other areas of life. We probably are more alike than we are different. But this one area, if you're not willing to listen to voices of dissent, then buddy, you're still asleep. You're not awake. You're not enlightened. And if you can just show people that you are a man of your word and that you're a good human and that you are awake, then you'll listen and you'll look. And here's something else, Jay and Hunter. The truth can take scrutiny. A lie can't. So if you truly believe, in your heart of heart, you truly believe that Laura is who she says she is, and she's told you the total truth, then why are you afraid to look at the evidence? Why are you afraid? If what you believe is true, you shouldn't be afraid to look at the evidence. And so I'm hoping, Jay, that you will prove to your audience that you are a good person and that you are awake and that you are really good at personal growth and development yourself, and that you will listen to these questions. In the horrific comment you left for me, you said that we could quote you. So I'm hoping to get a quote from you, and I'm hoping that you will treat Todd and me with the respect that we are treating you and Hunter. And
I'd like to know what he means by agents. What kind of agents are we?
Yeah, what agents are we? I didn't know.
Are we paid agents? Are we representing a 3-letter agency? Like
what in your mind?
Define agent. That's just like, yeah, it's.
And I will say, everything we have on Laura, we can back by receipts. Stuff we can't back by receipts, we say is our opinion. So that's not defamation. When you are actually speaking the truth, that's not defamation. But Jay, what you said in your comment is actually defamation. Like, that is actually defamation, what you said in your comment, because we're not agents.
Prove to us that we're agents.
Yeah,
just because we're speaking out against Laura Knight Yaddick and her Cassiopean cult, that makes us an agent.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It means
Laura would like to think that. Laura would like you to believe that. Like, oh, look, they're just another agent. See, I told you they're coming after me. No.
Show us the evidential proof, not your opinion. Feelings aren't facts, Jay. Feelings aren't facts. Just because you're angry at us for challenging you does not mean we're wrong.
What information is Laura putting out that threatens 3-letter agencies?
Yeah,
she's just regurgitating old conspiracy theories.
But hopefully it won't get to that. Hopefully we can be friends. Hopefully you'll wake up and you'll realize that having healthy debate is the sign of a free society with free speech. So are we ready to get into it, Todd? With the questions, the 10 questions for Jay?
Go for it.
All right. Question 1. During one of the earlier channeling sessions, the Cassiopeans stated that they were service to self. This is also mentioned in the Law of One, raw material. Jay and Hunter, what is your comment on this fact? Anything you want to add to that, Todd?
The way that they stated it, when they asked them, do you serve self or others? Cassiopean said, we serve self through others. That's service to self. Yeah. What do narcissists do? They serve themselves by feeding off of what? Others. Others, right. And then the other side of that is that the raw material was stating where the two main service to self centers were within our galaxy, and that was Orion and Cassiopeia.
3, Southern Cross.
Oh, Southern Cross, right?
Orion,
Yeah, okay.
and Cassiopean. That's in the
Right.
Law of One. I'm going to include all the links down below, Jay and Hunter, so you're welcome. Todd and I have done your homework for you. You just have to click the links. They're down below.
Yeah.
To see this evidence.
So two supporting facts to show that the Cassiopeans, and also the third one would be when you're speaking to a service to self, fourth density group, you could call it, they individuate. And so that's the reason why every time that Laura is channeling, she gets a different Lizzie on the board.
Yeah. When you
Laura's not channeling now. In my opinion, Laura doesn't know how to channel.
We're going to get to that, Todd. That's
and if she does, fucking prove it.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. No, Todd, we're going to get to that. That's another question.
Sorry. All right. Well,
so basically the first question is, what is your comment? It's a fact. The Cassiopeans told you themselves that they were Lizzies. That they're fourth density service to self Lizzies using.
But that's never changed.
That's never changed. The law of one raw material also tells you that Cassiopeia is a Lizzie service to self constellation. So Hunter, Jay, what's your comment? This is fact. Did you know the Cassiopeans are Lizzies? Fact, not opinion, fact. And if so, what is your comment? Why are you following the Lizzies? Second question. What is your comment on Laura changing the original channeling transcripts to the published ones? What is your comment on her blatant manipulation? Since there is evidence of these changes, how can you trust Laura to tell you the truth now? Anything you want to state to that?
Yeah, I mean, there's no excuse for that, especially from what I understand through my research. It was Laura who was helping to write the transcripts from the beginning. So that was like, I guess, one of these responsibilities she took on when she was channeling with Frederick Ireland, is that she was the one that was sitting down. I guess they were recording it, and then she would go back and she would type up the transcripts. So at the beginning, there was just the transcripts that Laura helped transcribe. Those transcripts were then given to Frederick Ireland. They both had the same copy. Now, somehow, down the line, when Laura stole Frederick Ireland's work, Frederick Ireland still had the original transcripts that were transcribed, as far as I understand, by Laura.
Yep.
Now, they go separate ways. Laura sues Frederick Ireland.
We're going to get into that, Todd. We don't have to tell the whole story.
Okay.
But
I'm just trying to get
the transcripts she published on the forum and in her book have been altered, big time.
Yes, I wanted to add that it wasn't that each of them transcribed them. One person transcribed them.
Laura
left. Then she changed them.
Yeah.
You see. It wasn't that there was this debate. They were both transcribing. One transcription, one transcriber, more properly put. And then Laura changed those transcripts and
that's a fact. They're changed.
And deleted some sessions altogether.
Yeah. That's a fact, guys. We're not that, and all the links are down below. So since Laura did actually change the transcripts that are published, what's your comment on that? Why are you supporting blatant manipulation? Because that's what that is. That's manipulation.
Yeah, and let me add something really quick. If anyone is wanting to, an easy way to see the difference between each transcript through the dates, all you have to do is open up one file of the original transcripts from Frederick Ireland, copy one session, and then go to the forum, the Cassiopean forum, where they have the list of all the dates for all the transcripts. Copy and paste both into ChatGPT and get ChatGPT to tell you the
All
difference.
differences.
That's the fastest way to do it. Instead of having to read them side by side, just throw them in Chat GPT, each one by date, and Chat GPT will give you a breakdown. In each one that I've done, in each session, there is at least 7 to 15 things that have been changed per session.
Yeah, that's a lot of changing. And I'm gonna ask Laura the same question. Who has time for that?
Right.
Who has time for that? So again, the second question to you, Jay and Hunter, that we would like a comment on, since you said we could quote you, is what is your comment on Laura's changing the original channeling transcripts to the published one? What is your comment on her blatant manipulation? Since there is evidence of these changes, how can you trust Laura to tell you the truth now?
I mean, yeah, how can you justify that in your head that she changed it?
Exactly. 3. This kind of goes into what I just said and what we've been talking about. 3, since Laura does not publicly channel, how do you know she is channeling and not making it up as she goes? Again, no one has time for that. Like, what is the point in just typing up Jay and Hunter? Go to Todd's channel if you're watching from mine. If you're on Todd's channel, look at the Lou channeling. Todd and I channel on lives, YouTube lives. We channel, we ask the audience, they ask questions, we answer it, we end the live, we leave it up. That's
and if we don't do live channeling, if we do impromptu channeling, is to sit down, because Lou sometimes will say, grab the board, let's do a channeling. We'll grab the board and we'll just record it. No pauses, no cuts, no edits. It's just right there for everyone to see. You can listen, you can watch. Why hasn't Laura done that?
Why hasn't Laura? She's never, in the 30-something years she's done this, she's never publicly channeled. Even the group who channeled the Law of One in the Dark Ages, in the 1980s, recorded it. You can find the recordings up on YouTube. When you have people who have nothing to hide nothing.
Right.
So
and where technology is today, cameras are cheap. You can get a GoPro camera for $45, put it on a tripod, put it over the board, and voila, it's there. It's
Zoom.
so easy.
We film on Zoom. We tilt the laptop down and film on Zoom.
Yeah. So Jay and Hunter, why don't you invite Laura on your channel? Have her prove that she could channel. Do it live. Could be 45 minutes. Ask some questions. Let's see it. And let's also see, while we're at it, if you do that, which she probably won't do it, but if she will, get her to ask on live to the Cassiopeans, do you serve self or do you serve others? Plain as day, just like that. I want to see it.
Yep, me too. No fucking trance channeling. That's bullshit. If she gets up there and wants a trance channel, that just proves our point. She's making it up.
Exactly.
She's
trance
making it
channel.
Up.
Get on
trance
the board.
Channeling my ass. Get on the board. Show us you can do it. I can do it. Can I, Todd?
You could definitely do it. Better than I've ever seen anyone do it. But anyway.
I didn't realize how everybody keeps texting me about how fast it is. And I'm like, is it really that fast? Like, I just don't even. But I have nothing to hide. Like, I have nothing to hide. I don't want to be the center of attention. I'm nobody. Like, I'm here to be of service to other people. And when Lou is channeling with us, he is talking to the audience, isn't he, Todd? He's not worried about Todd and me. He's talking to our audience. Right. So I want to see it.
Plus, we're not talking about a bunch of conspiracy theories.
No, we're talking about actually helping people. So again, question 3, since Laura does not publicly channel, how do you know she is channeling and not making it up as she goes? We want a comment. Both Hunter and Jay, we want your comment on these 10 questions. 4, what is your comment on her stealing Fred Earland's work? How do you justify this action as service to others? I don't even think they know she stole. I don't even think they know who Fred Earland is. I don't think that's how.
Well, she's just run a smear campaign on him, acting like that he's he's just derelict and that he didn't deserve to continue. The bottom line is that Frederick was tired of Laura's bullshit. Mm-hmm. He just packed up his stuff and just wanted to go out on his own. He just wanted to release all the material for free. Yeah, allow people to talk about it.
Yep. Like what we're doing, Todd. Exactly what we're doing.
Exactly. Yes. And Laura wouldn't have that. She saw her opportunity to make something of herself, and so she had. I don't know why. I guess she didn't have to justify it in her head, And she just did it. She was able to steal it from Frederick, and Frederick, being the gentle man that he is,
Kind
from what I
person.
understand,
Very
the gentle, kind person that he is, he just sort of walked away and just remained quiet. He fought for a little while.
She
but
terrorized him. She
Yeah,
absolutely
right.
terrorized him and stole his work. How do you justify that, guys? Like, how do you justify that lack of integrity of somebody claiming a work as their own that is not their own, and there is receipts to prove it?
And also
So,
throughout all those years, from 1994 until what was it, 2010 or something like that? Was that what it was?
2001.
2001.
Yeah.
Yes. Frederick Ireland was always the person on the board with other people. It was never, through all that time, it was never Laura and someone else. The one person that was the consistent person through all those years was Frederick Ireland, until Laura stole the work. So you can't say that it was a balance between the two. It was 100% Frederick Ireland.
Laura can't channel because she's not Rh negative.
Right.
She lied about that in the transcripts. You have to be Rh negative to be able to have the conduit to channel. She's not. She
You have to be to be a wanderer, you have to be Rh negative.
Yeah, so you can't. She's not. She's not.
And you have to be a wanderer to channel.
Yeah. And that's funny because the Cassiopeans did say that Fred Ireland was a wanderer and not Laura. So,
Right.
anyway, question 5. What is your comment on Jay Weidner's article about Laura, which will be down in the description box below? That's a pretty damning article. Jay Weidner is a pretty big deal. And to have him write that precise article about all the crimes Laura has committed and what she's done and the doxing of people. Here's the thing, guys. This is what narcissists do. What they project onto others is their admission of guilt. So what she is saying other people are doing to her is actually what she's doing to other people. She's never been hurt. Everything she goes through is her own karma coming back to her. So I want to know I want you guys to read the Jay Weidner article, and I want to hear your comment on it.
Right, and it's obvious, Jay Weidner was on her side for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He was being turned against one of his business partners, Vincent Bridges, and was sort of pushing Vincent Bridges to the side, sort of falling for Laura, even though he didn't necessarily care for her that much, but was giving her some space. And then at the end, he realized he had been hoodwinked, had been turned away from his friend, turned against his friend.
Yeah.
That's what his story is. One of the most important. It's one of the most poignant stories of all of them.
And he's a big deal. Jay Weidner's a big deal. And if he was man enough to admit his mistake and expose it, I'm hoping that Jay and Hunter, you can be man enough to and admit and look at this stuff and admit your mistakes. But Todd, before we get to the next question, I want to take a brief moment from a word from our sponsors. New year, new energy, and new you. This year, you're not chasing a version of yourself. You're building one. Welcome to Fusion Body Studio, where movement meets mindfulness, strength meets softness, and your body becomes your greatest ally. If you've ever said, I want to feel stronger, I want to move better, I want consistency without burnout, this is your sign. At Fusion Body Studio, we blend low-impact cardio, high-impact cardio, walking classes, mobility flows, somatic healing, bar fusion, bar for men, yoga, and active meditation into classes that support your real life. No extreme pressure, no perfection culture, just intelligent movement, nervous system regulation, and practices that actually stick. Whether you're rebuilding, refining, or completely reinventing your routine, there's space for you here. Start 2026 with momentum, not guilt. Move your body without punishing it. Train flexibility, resilience, and focus together. And to make it easy to begin, we have a New Year special just for you. At checkout, use code NEWYOU26 in all caps, NEWYOU26, and get 40% off a one-time purchase at Fusion Body Studio. That's 40% off your reset, your consistency, your future self. This isn't about becoming someone else. This is about coming home to your body, home to your soul with clarity, strength, and confidence. Fusion Body Studio. Move with intention, train for longevity, start the year aligned. Use code NEWYOU26 today. Your new year starts now. Let's get back to the show. Okay.
All right, we're back.
We're back. Question 6. What is your comment on Laura's abuse of Vincent Bridges? Todd, you want to say anything about that? Laura's abuse, blatant abuse of Vincent Bridges.
It's really sad. I mean, I think it put Vincent in his grave early, to tell you the truth.
Too. I think she practiced Santeria. That's my opinion based on some of the stuff that Vincent claimed around some mirror magic with her. That is my opinion from what circumstantially from what he wrote about. We know voodoo down here in the South. And the minute you read that to me, I was like, oh, she did some Santeria on him. Yeah. And service to others people don't do Santeria. So, and the only crime that Vincent Bridges made against Laura was telling Laura when he noticed that she had changed the transcripts and he read the originals, he told her she better pray that the originals never see the light of day because it's pretty damning. But guess what? Karma's a bitch, or as Lou says, karma's a slut, because we have the original transcripts linked below, guys, and they're pretty damning. That's all Vincent Bridges said to her off record was like, you need to make sure that these originals never see the light of day because it's going to make you, Laura, look real bad.
And Laura likes to make it seem like that Vincent Bridges swung the first blow.
No, he never did.
No, he just wanted to go a separate way, clean up whatever was done behind the scenes. When everything started, when he started to pull away, all he did at the beginning was try to help her.
Yeah.
And then he challenged her on a couple things, and that's when it all just came. Laura realized that Vincent was starting to wake up to what was really going on with Laura and Frederick Ireland and all of that. And Laura saw the writing on the wall, and so she made a preemptive strike against Vincent.
He wasn't ever going to say anything. He wasn't ever going to make this a big deal.
Right.
She forced his hand.
Right. But Laura saw an opportunity.
Took money from him.
To say, look, another agent.
With no proof. Absolutely no proof. Right. She likes to defame people and make stories up. If she can't find dirt on you, she'll make it up.
Yes. I mean, you could see that Vincent Bridges, one thing his writing does is it really lays out the patterns. Mm-hmm. The obvious patterns.
Vincent was smart. He was a smart man.
Yeah. He didn't want to have to write all that stuff. He wrote all of that to try to salvage his reputation, which Laura was attempting to destroy.
Simply because he challenged her.
Yeah. And it wasn't even like a direct hard challenge. It was just like, you probably don't want to show people these transcripts
because it's going to make you look bad, sister.
Right.
Because it's obvious that you've lied.
And Laura realized that
he knew too much.
What's that? He knew too much. And also Vincent Bridges ran in the circles of researchers that have a tremendous amount of respect within the global community of researchers. Yep. And she realized that if she didn't destroy Vincent Bridges' credibility, that she was possibly, she was done.
She was going to be exposed as the fraud that she is.
Right. So she was in panic mode. First, she saw that Vincent was going to be her golden ticket, and then when she realized that golden ticket woke up.
Actually, it's sad because I see Jay and Hunter as being her new Vincent Bridges, and if they wake up, they better be praying they didn't give her any personal information. Because I think she'll do the same thing to them that she did to Vincent Bridges. And you guys, you follow the C's. What did the C's say? And this isn't something the C's came up with because my mama used to say this to us growing up all the time. Knowledge is power. Learn about Laura. Learn about what she's done. Learn about her true history. Prove it. If you follow the C's, prove it. That knowledge is power, knowledge protects. Look at this stuff. So the next question is both for Jay and Hunter, and maybe Todd, you want to answer this as well. So question 7, what are your comments on the blatant racism in the early transcripts? Do you support racism? Do you want to talk about a little bit about the race? I mean, we don't have to go into detail because it's an uncomfortable
I don't remember the comments that there was that they were claiming that there was some crime gene. The Cassiopeans were claiming that there was some crime gene, and that some of the minorities had that crime gene or crime hormone or some weird thing like that, and I found it to be very racist.
It's very racist. It's vulgar.
I don't. It would. I don't even know if most people would pick up on it. So
I mean, it's there, and so it's very uncomfortable. And if anybody truly understands spirituality, you're not your body. Like your body, you've been multiple races, so it's not.
I want to see. I want to see if I even have. I used to have.
Let's we're gonna.
Oh, here. No. I'll tell you. I'll if people are interested in going back and reading the transcript that this is found in, it's from session 19, July 1995.
And we're going to do a bigger episode, I think, on that in the new year. So, because it's uncomfortable, it's horrific, it's bigot. I think that's Laura. I don't think that, because I think even the Lizzies would know that you're not your body. And I just think I think Laura's racist. I think that proves that she's very racist and she's very bigoted. And I think that's her own projections coming out through that transcript. So guys, Todd and I are going to we just had a sidebar about this because this is super, I mean, I'm getting flushed. It's super uncomfortable. Like what was said in this transcript, like it's sickening what was said in this transcript. And so we are going to do a separate episode in the new year about it and talk about what we think happened with these comments that were made about minorities. And I just want to clarify, like I'm getting really uncomfortable. Neither Todd nor I believe this at all. We do not believe this at all. As white people, absolutely not. I know that sounds cliche to say, but some of our best friends, like people we consider family, are not white. And so we want to make that very clear. I know I'm getting very red. I know this is very uncomfortable and it's very upsetting to see these things. As a human being, we believe that a person should be based off of their character and not their skin color, as Martin Luther King said. But I think it's important that we do address it because it's there. We can't ignore it. It's there. And so my question to Jay and Hunter, as we are uncomfortably talking about it, I want a comment from you guys. I want to hear about what you think. What are your comments? Question 7, what are your comments on the blatant racism in the early transcripts? Do you support racism? I want to know what you think about those early. What was the transcript again, Todd? Give the date and the transcript number for people to look at
It was session 19, July 1995.
And for anybody who follows Jay, if they won't answer, question them about this. Like, this is important. Do you support racism? Do you support this bullshit that Laura has in her transcripts? All right. Let's see here. Number 8, question 8. How do you justify Laura changing dates for the incoming wave? Which we spoke about at the beginning of the video. Even if you put it through ChatGPT, she has changed the dates multiple times, like most cults do. When a prophecy is not fulfilled by the time it's supposed to be fulfilled, the cult leader will usually change the date and say, oh, it's the followers' fault, or oh, it's a timeline shift. So how do you guys justify that? How do you justify the fact that the date for the wave keeps changing? All right, that's pretty self-explanatory. Do you mind if we go to number 9, Todd?
Go right ahead.
Question number 9 for Jay and Hunter. How is shutting down critics of Laura any different from what mainstream media does when they shut down their critics? How are you any different from mainstream media? Anything you want to add to that, Todd?
Nope.
Okay. Number 10. How do you feel you can press Laura or challenge Laura with any of these questions without her going on the attack of you? Or excuse me, let me rephrase that. 10. Do you feel you can press Laura or challenge Laura with any of these questions without her going on the attack of you? If you feel you can't press her or challenge her with these questions, then how in the world are you awake? Because we know the answer to that. They can't challenge her, can they, Todd?
They will not be able to challenge her.
You are not allowed. If you guys like, ChatGPT does not like Laura Knight Yaddick. Listen, I've done a lot of stuff.
It's true.
Every time I type in about just to look and comparing things, ChatGPT's, I was like, girl, you in danger.
Yeah, they're like, that bitch.
They're like, she is an authoritarian cult. Do you not realize that she's an authoritarian cult leader. She matches the bite model. She matches all the markers for a cult leader. She will not allow you. She is the authority. Do you guys realize, if you study the law of one, if I'm assuming you've studied it, what is one of the traits of service to self? A pecking order, a hierarchy. Are we connecting? Are we seeing the patterns here?
Yeah.
Laura is the authority of truth when it comes to the Cassiopeans. It's not up for debate. She's the gatekeeper of questions. And for heaven's sake, like, Ark, shut the fuck up, bro. Your questions are so fucking lunatic. Like, it's boring. It's a waste of time. It's just Laura trying to, like, show people how smart you are, which, honestly, Ark, I used to feel sorry for you. I don't. After reading all the receipts, you're part of the problem too. Bro, you're kind of, I mean, Lou called her a heifer, didn't he? You're kind of dumb, bro. Like, you're not as smart as you think you are to get involved with that heifer. Now, as Lou says, that heifer. Now, Todd, who is Laura to you? Just so Jay and Hunter understand, who is Laura to you?
She's did we figure out my second cousin?
Second cousin.
From.
And she was so fucking rude to you. I was like shocked.
Yeah.
She was awful. She made a mistake being that rude and ugly to you.
Yeah.
Big mistake. What do they say in Pretty Woman? Big mistake. Huge, Laura. You fucked up, girl. You've been fucking up. And everything that happens to Laura that's bad, y'all, that's just her karma. It's just her karma. Because she is constantly... Jay and Hunter, do you know that she was charged with attempted unaliving? Do you know that story?
When she was, I forget how old she was.
Something like 1920? Do you guys know
Yeah.
that? Are you aware of that she was charged? She went through a trial for murder? Do y'all know that? Because that's a pretty big deal. Do you know that some of her kids don't even talk to her anymore?
I don't think any of her kids talk to her anymore, but...
She lies about it, but we know we have an inside source, guys.
Yeah.
Do you know she trapped Ark? She's trapped.
Oh, they're talking about, she was talking about three-letter agencies. She sent Ark's wife, because Ark had an affair, and she sent Ark's wife copies of all their messages that they were exchanging through their online romance. And then she told Ark that it was it must have been some three-letter agency. No, it was Laura that sent all those messages, copies of those messages, to Ark's wife, so Ark couldn't go back. He didn't have anywhere to go back to. Yeah, she trapped him.
Job, y'all. Like, she made it so he would be totally dependent upon her. Do you know that she ran a scammy rifle before she left for France? I know she said in your interview that there are no warrants for her arrest. We beg to differ, and we are in the process of pulling those up. Guys, she can't come back to the United States. She can't. If she's all about freedom, why would she move to one of the most oppressed countries in the world? No offense, France. Vive la France. We love the French people, but we know their government is one of the most oppressive in the world. Why would she then, if she's for freedom, why would she have to run to a country that's one of the most oppressed in the Western world? Think about this, guys. Common sense. She ran a scam. She's done so many money frauds that we have all the receipts for. She cannot come back to the United States because there are active warrants for her arrest. You guys are dealing with the scam artist. And one thing I want to explain to you guys, when we're hoping to wake you up, you are going to be responsible for this karma if you don't course correct. Karmically, you're going to be responsible for these damages too. So I pray to God, Hunter and Jay, you will listen to us. We are not your enemies. We are your friends. Please prove to our audience members that you are a responsible, mature, grown-ass man who will act like somebody who is awake, will consider these questions, will sit with these questions, do your research so you can give us a proper answer, not just name call us. and make up lies about us. That's called deflection. That's deflection. So anyway, any words you want to say, Todd, before we sign out?
Nope, I think that's good enough.
Good, you guys. And again, Todd is going to be putting together a show probably for the new year, but we'll work on getting all the stuff together where he tells his full story with the Cassiopean cult. All right, you guys.
All right.
Have a safe and happy holiday, and we will see you all very soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Jay and Hunter. Talk to you soon, guys.